Hey everyone, Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Want to talk to you today about semester 2 and first impressions. So I know that as the weirdest school year ever continues, some of us are still finishing up semester 1 and haven't taken finals yet, and I know others are already in semester 2 just like a regular school year. So I would love to know where you are right now, where your students are, your kiddos are. Let me know down below if you're in semester 1 or semester 2. And if you're wondering who I am, why I'm here talking to you, again, my name is Jessica Coulter, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Want to talk to you about some of the students I work with. I tutor students in the 3rd grade and beyond, all the way up through adults in grad school. I have 3 specialties: middle school math, ACT prep, and essay writing and proofreading. Help with more than that, so just ask if you're interested or looking for some tutoring, homeschooling, resources, whatever it is you might need to do school. So let's talk about these first impressions. So like I said, I work with a lot of students right now. We're still in semester 1 at the school I'm subbing at right now. So, my other videos might apply to you or your situation, depending on where you guys are. But as we start semester 2, for especially older students, you generally take a class for a semester and there might be a part 2, but that part 2 isn't always going to be taught by the same teacher. And then especially if you've got younger kiddos, especially like in middle school, you take certain specials that are only available for a semester at a time, sometimes even only a quarter. It just depends on the school, depends on how the grading, the system, all that stuff works. So the first thing that you don't want to do, the first way you can make a horrible, bad impression with these brand new teachers that you're possibly seeing for the first time, or at least seeing for the first time in class this year, is to not show up. And what I mean by that, so if you're in person or hybrid or going to be very soon, make sure you show up to class on time. Make sure you're there as much as physically possible. Now, if you're online, it's the same thing. Show up to your Zoom classes, your WebEx, your whatever meetings online on time, and actually be there by showing your face and raising your chat hand, responding to the chat, whatever it is that your teacher asks you to do. Okay, so you want to make a good first impression for the sake of kind of gaining some brownie points. And we'll talk about why those are important in a little bit. But definitely, tip number 1 is to show up. So show up physically if possible, if that's what your school system's doing right now, or at least show up virtually if that's what you guys are doing. So if you are looking for some help to make the best possible impression, I would love to have you in my Facebook group called Students Aiming for A's. The link's in the description. The link, in case you need it, in case that, Students Aiming for A's direct link doesn't work, it's facebook.com/groups/A's for students. So definitely join the group, get the help you need to make the best impression possible. Okay. Now, if you show up to class and you're there physically, that's awesome. That's step number 1 to making a great first impression. But what if you're not there mentally? So what I mean by this, so you're sitting in class, you're slumped over, you're asleep. Well, your teacher's not going to be very happy. He or she's going to probably be thinking, oh, I have one of those in my class. You don't want to make that impression. Okay. You also don't want to be the only student that never raises your hands. If the teacher asks a really simple question, who likes chocolate? All she wants you to do is raise your hand yes or raise your hand no, or, simple little get to know you activities like that. There's no reason not to participate. I mean, yeah, it might be kind of weird, or you might feel weird if you're the only one in the class who doesn't like chocolate, but, it gives you a chance to connect with the teacher. Maybe you're allergic. I didn't think that was a thing until I had a coworker who was, and it's like, oh, okay, I feel so bad for you, but now I know, to be a little more sensitive to that possible objection to my baking. But definitely participate mentally, okay? So ask questions, raise hands, whatever. Now, if you're doing remote learning, hybrid learning, make sure you're also participating mentally by, again, asking questions in the chat or clicking that ask for help button in your breakout room. Let your teacher know that you're there, you're engaged, and you want to learn, because that's going to make a great impression if your teacher knows, hey, he's turning in his work on time, or, oh, she, is admitting that she's a little confused, but I can tell that she's not just giving up. Okay, that makes teachers feel warm and fuzzy and more willing to help you. So let's talk about those brownie points. Okay, now before we do that, just want to check in. If you're enjoying the video, great. Just tap that like or heart button for me. And again, let me know below in the comments. Are you in semester 1 or semester 2? Because I'm just curious where all in the world, the United States, has already started semester 2, and how many of us are still in semester 1 like I am. So, brownie points. This is why these first impressions matter. So, say you are a student that's made a pretty bad first impression, or just, continuously is not really impressing the teacher. You're not showing up to class, you're not asking questions, you're not participating, but then something major happens, like you just can't get to school for 2 weeks because something major happens, something in the family, something with the house, something with internet, whatever it is, something happens, and then you go to the teacher and you're like, hey, I cannot do this big project that's due a week from now because I don't have electricity, or, so-and-so just passed away, or I have to go to such and such faraway place. Your teacher is going to be more likely to believe you and want to help you if you have those brownie points, if you've done the effort to kind of give that first good impression. Now, obviously, there are some teachers that will just not believe you, no matter how much he or she likes you. And then there's also those teachers out there that are just uber sympathetic and will take any old excuse. You have no way of knowing what your brand new semester 2 teacher is until you get to know him or her, until he or she gets to know you or your child. So make those good first impressions, get those brownie points, so that way if you need something from your teacher later on, some kind of extended deadline, some extra credit, whatever it is, your teacher wants to help you because he or she thinks of you as a good student, or thinks of your child as a good student. So guys, that's everything I have for you. Just want to give you some heads up and some tips for semester 2. Again, I know not everyone has just started semester 2, so definitely let me know that down below if that is you or your child. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to join my Facebook group. It's called Students Aiming for A's. Link is facebook.com/groups/A's for students. Join the group so you can make the best first impression possible, so you can get those brownie points and get the help you need when something comes up. Bye, guys.